Often when I print preview a document, I want to change the page setup. So in Print Preview, I find the easiest way to do this is to click the Page Setup option shown here. If I go into Page Setup, I can change the document from printing currently in Portrait to printing in Landscape. So I'll click Landscape and OK. The effect of this is my 4-page document will now print on 3 pages. If I go back into Page Setup, besides choosing Portrait or Landscape, I also like to scale. I could play with the percentage of magnification, but I'm more likely to choose this option. And I'll click it and say Fit to 1 page wide by 1 page tall. And when I go OK, it prints on 1 page instead of 3 or 4. The only problem is nobody will be able to read it. So I'm going back into Page Setup and I'm going to scale it differently. I'd like to fit to 1 page wide, but maybe 2 pages tall. And OK. As you can see at the bottom here, it will now print on 2 pages and it's quite readable. Other options in Page Setup, and particularly the Page tab, are being able to change the paper size. If you have the luxury of an A3 printer, you could change the paper size from A4 to A3. You can also change the quality, though I wouldn't. 600 dots per inch is good quality. If you were to change that to 300 dots per inch, you'll get a printout of poor quality. In addition to changing Portrait and Landscape and scaling, you also have margins at the top. It is here that you can reduce the margins and try to put as much as you can onto 1 page. I might take the margins down to 2 centimeters, so I'll take the top margin down to 2, the right margin down to 2, the bottom margin down to 2, and the left margin down to 2. And when I go OK, you'll see a shift in the margins. They're actually smaller than they were before. When I look at this printout though, it's sort of leaning towards the left of the page, and I'd like to center it horizontally. If I go back into Page Setup and back into Margins, there are 2 tick boxes here, and as you tick them you can watch the preview to show what their effect is. If I center on the page horizontally, I can now see it shifted and is horizontally centered. If I was to center vertically, it's now going to be dead center on each page. And if I go OK, it sits nicely on the page.